my name's Heather Ann, and I am a team leader with Us More Books and More, and I'm excited for Casey's book look tonight. I hope you are as well. Our party starts at 9 o'clock. Our virtual doors open 10 minutes early. Be sure to be there on time because you get to browse around and see kind of what's going on, how things are going to work. You get to check out how you're going to create that favorites list to be emailed to you after the party. And of course, our party's going to start and it's going to roll through everybody together, so you don't want to miss that. Plus, there'll be an opportunity if you're on time to maybe win free shipping tonight. So that's super, super fun. Now, I love these books and I cannot wait to share them with you. I know that you have a niece or you have a nephew, and then you have baby, correct? If you have a baby nephew that is 8 months old, and then you also have a 3-year-old nephew. So I'm going to start with those guys first. So we're going to start with a 3-month or 3-year-old nephew first. You said outdoors, anything outdoorsy, as well as dinosaurs, trucks, things like that. So I wanted to mention things like this. This is Bug Hotel. This is one of our super fun ones where they actually get to go outside and learn about nature, and learn about creating that bug hotel. This is geared towards 3 and up. Super duper fun with this. I absolutely adore it. It really shows in a very simplistic way the animals that are going to live outside in your garden. It is not just bugs, by the way. It has some smaller animals, invertebrates as well, other invertebrates as well. So definitely check that one out. I love that one. Also, I wanted to mention dinosaur books. Now, this is not a dinosaur book. This is under this Lift and Look Under the Sea. This is just an example of this book, but this is the book that I wanted to share with you for dinosaurs. There is a Lift and Look Dinosaurs. It is such a great way to show cause and effect in a small area. Super duper fun. Hide and seek, how they're going to be, and there's just a few words about the whatever you're looking at. So in this case, seahorses. So I was going to talk a little bit about seahorses. So the one for dinosaurs is also like that. It's super cool. Be sure to check that out. This is one of my absolute favorites. This is Lifesize Dinosaurs. It is one that, for the record books, I absolutely adore these books. There's also Life-Size Animals. This is geared towards 3 to 7-year-olds. It's going to compare and contrast or compare themselves to the animal itself. So in other words, here is an Allosaurus footprint. You get to put your foot on their foot to see how big your foot how your foot compares. This is really a book that will grow with them over time because they'll get to check that guy out. They'll get to see more about the animals on the next page. Every other page is going to be an opportunity to compare themselves with those creatures. So super fun. Absolutely adore those. Now let's talk baby books. You said 8 months old, and I'm so excited about that. One of my favorite series for that age range is this guy. This is the Don't Tickle the Hippo or Don't Tickle the Lion series. There are multiple in this series. The 2 that are in stock are the hippo and the lion. It has an on-off switch in the back, which is lovely for mamas. And then, of course, it has these great animals that you go through. This one is my favorite. One of the things that we know with young learners is that they are tactile learners. So we want them exploring the page by themselves with their hands. Very short sentences. Don't tickle the money, you might make it howl. And then sounds that they're not going to be used to hearing. Who's heard a howler monkey before? That's super cool. I absolutely love that we have sounds that people don't typically hear. It's repetitive story, so it's going to be really great for that. And then, of course, you have that cacophony at the end. So, and of course, the touchy-feelies on every page, which makes it really fun. Another series that I would highly, highly recommend at this age range is actually our finger trail books. So this is baby's very first play words, animals, and this one is going to have finger trails. What I like about these books is that they grow into them. This goes from about, I think it's marked 9 months to 2 years old. It's going to have the simple pictures on one side and then them in a setting on the other, and they can match them up. So here's your bear, and here's your deer. your fox. Notice they're not in the same orientation, which is really important as they get older. And then of course you have those finger trails. I'm not sure if you can see that here, but they're cut out onto the page. Again, that exploration with their hands, so important. So those are just a few books that I think are perfect for those age ranges, so be sure to check those out. Now on to that second grade teacher that you're friends with. One of my favorite gifts for teachers is actually our Words of Wisdom coloring book. Great stress reliever. But on top of that, these are posters they can actually pull out of the book. They're perforated pages. They can frame them. They don't have to. They can hang them on the wall in their classroom. This happens to be inspirational quotes, but we have so many. We have Shakespearean quotes, witty quotes, so many that are out there. So definitely be sure to look on what they are. And then this is the other part of it that I really, really enjoy. It has this, okay, all our dreams can come true if we have the courage to pursue them, Walt Disney. And then at the back, it's going to tell us a little bit about Walt Disney and what he stood for, who he was, why he's important in our world. So these are very cool. Literary quotes is another one that I absolutely adore. So definitely check that out. Now, I am an educational services representative, and one of the things that I do is I go into schools and libraries and I work with their teachers and their administrators to find books that fit perfectly with the curriculum that they're doing in their classes. So I'm going to go by what I know that around here in North Carolina, their students are learning in the different classes. There are lots of science books that I think would fit really well with her second grade class. Unfortunately, many of them are out of stock. So I did want to bring to your attention one series that's rather inexpensive. They're $4.99 a piece. These are our beginners nonfiction. They are great K through third grade. One of the things that I adore about these is they are perfect for research projects on their own. So they're not overwhelming the child. It's great for table of contents, high picture to text ratio. The material is presented up here, but it's written down here where they can understand it. So you're not going to get any dumbed down material in these books. I absolutely love that about Usborne Books and More, about Usborne Publishing in general. Most of their books are like that. Now, one of the things that in history or social studies that second graders are learning is they're learning past and present. So one of the big projects that one of my schools does is they have students kind of research their history, where they're from, where their families are from, and then kind of move it onto how they're raised here. So one of the books that really works well with that is the Here and There, and then another part of that series is the Now and Then. It's going to compare and contrast how people around the world live, how they go shopping, how they celebrate the new year, what they eat, what's in their backyard. So many different ways of looking at people in Italy versus people over here, people in Hawaii, people in Polynesian islands versus people on mainland. So it's a really great way to compare and contrast geographically. And then this is comparing and contrasting back in ancient times, back in the 1800s versus how we're living now, back in the 1950s even, to how we're living now. So I think it's such a fantastic way to bridge those gaps, and it's something that they're learning in that second grade year typically. I say typically because every school is slightly different. Another one that they do in both science and history is that they look at historical figures and they compare them to themselves and who they want to be. One of our newest series is the Extraordinary Life series. Katherine Johnson just so happens to be the one that I picked up, but we have many, many more in that series. So definitely take a look at that if that's something that you're interested in. Has great information. It is presented on about a third grade level, so second graders can definitely access the material. So check those out as well. I hope to see you tonight. I cannot wait. Have a great day.